Hello, world. Welcome to Rex Arthur TV. This is the Rex Arthur Show where we discuss LGBTQ issues with the LGBTQ approach and an LGBTQ perspective in an LGBTQ plus planet where each and every one of us belongs to one or two letters in the 10 letter sexual alphabet LGBTQIAAP. And this is part two of Martina Navratilova's comments on trans women and the LGBTQ sports arena, and also the LGBT sexuality and the power of the LGBTQ movement. As I said in part one, every movement counts. Every movement is powerful. Every movement is effective. And the LGBTQ movement has changed every area in science and in art. Of course, you've seen the power of the LGBTQ movement in the movies. This year, very many LGBTQ movies or LGBTQ personalities were in the movies that won the Oscars. Very important. And this is just the beginning. I'm telling you, LGBTQ life is so creative, is so diverse, is so beautiful. The movies that will come out, people are going to understand LGBTQ persons than never before. It's going to be great. And reason being, they have new stories that people don't have. That's what you should understand. The LGBTQ life is so creative. It's so beautiful. You know, you can even have a movie where the child is a trans woman, a trans girl. I'm telling you, you wait and see. They are coming in thick and fast. They're going to come. So this is part two. And in part two, we're not going to discuss mostly Martina's views and how the conservative right have misused her. They have misused her statements. This is just going to be now our solutions to the LGBTQ phenomenon in every area, and in this case, sports. Now, very many sportsmen, we do not know their sexuality. First of all, we don't know their sexual orientation, and it is for a very important reason. Sexuality is a private matter. Yes, naturally, sexuality is private. And what we mean by sexuality is whom you have sex with. Now, remember we did the omnisexual video. We explained to people that the LGBTQ spectrum is not necessarily about whom you have sex with. It is also about who you are sexually. So some letters in the 10 letter sexual alphabet have nothing to do with whom you have sex with. That includes transgender, intersex, asexual, pansexual. Yeah, you can put pansexual there. And who else? And questioning. Yes, there were roughly five, or actually not roughly five. There are only three letters or four letters that actually they're the four letters that have everything to do with whom you have sex with and not who you are sexually. That's gender. Is the lesbian, bisexual, gay, and ally, because ally is a straight person, and a straight person is a person who has sex with the opposite sex. A gay person is a person, a man who has sex with a man. A lesbian is a woman who has sex with a woman. And a bisexual is a person who has sex with both sexes or both genders. So only the four letters L, G, B, and A, the ally who is straight, it morphs into S. They are straight people. Those are the only letters that are about whom you have sex with. The rest of the letters it's not about who you are, whom you have sex with, but it's about who you are sexually. You can be intersex, but you have sex with women. You can be asexual and you're gay. Yes. You can be transgender, a trans woman, and you have sex with a woman. You can be a trans man and you have sex with men. You see, that's what you need to understand. So when you meet a transgender, this is why the wars of patriarchy, matriarchy, the feminist wars, they get very confused. They don't understand a trans woman, or not a trans woman. They don't understand a trans man. Yes, because a feminist is fighting patriarchy. Now, is a trans man a patriarch? According to a feminist, he is. But a trans man used to be a woman. You see, used to be a woman, was born female, and then now has accepted her masculinity and wants to be a he, and becomes a he based on the masculinity they possess. So this trans man, the trans man has a potential to be a patriarch or a matriarch, because especially the trans men who tend to support women's rights are trans men who are attracted to women. Yes. So they are heterosexual. When a trans man who is attracted to women is a heterosexual. It's beautiful. Oh my God. I just enjoy the philosophical picture that it's painting. But a trans man can decide to always be with men. You see, it's so beautiful. And this trans man becomes gay because they're having sex with men and they love being with men. So you see, it's very beautiful. Look at that picture. And that's why people don't understand transgenders, because it's like a transgender is a person who doesn't attack heteronormativity. But that's not true. Just because you're a transgender doesn't mean you're heteronormative. You can be a trans man who wants to have sex with men. Yes, because you love gay sex. You enjoy it. You can be a trans woman who wants to have sex with men. You see. So meaning you've transgendered, you've transitioned. Your sexual transition was because of whom you want to have sex with. Yes. Your sexual transition is about whom you want to have sex with. And then it is also how you want to have sex. Because a girl who becomes a trans man, she really desires to give to another woman as a man, not as a woman. Because do you know how a lesbian can still fuck a woman? Yes. No problem. She doesn't need to change her organs. But there are some women who feel like they need to change the organ and be a man so that they can sleep with a woman. That's now a trans man. That's why lesbians, everybody's in a spectrum. If you call yourself a lesbian, you have the potential to become a trans man. Everything, we are all on a slide in a spectrum. So there's some lesbians who actually become trans men, and they dress like men and they even take hormones. They are gay men who transit and become trans women. Yes, because the feminine principle they have is so strong, it makes them even say, I'm going to be a woman. And Then you can be a woman with a penis. Then you say, no, I even don't want to have a penis. I just want to be a woman. And then they remove the penis and they get a vagina. So that gay man even can slide to become a trans woman. Yes. And even a straight man, anybody, everybody has the potential of sexual fluidity. We all have it. We have that potential of being any sexual orientation. And I'm going to do a video to show you sexual fluidity in motion. We're all chameleons. Sexually, we're all chameleons. But that's philosophical. But scientifically, we are not chameleons, because sexuality is a very complicated thing, extremely complicated. And straight people are straight. I've met a straight person has no time to even think of them being sexual fluid. Absolutely none. So scientifically, LGBTQ persons are few, and they will forever remain few. That's what you need to understand. Scientifically, don't dream of the world having very many lesbians or gays. It will never happen. We will forever be a minority, because that identity is naturally born. It is biological. That's what you need to understand. All right, so this part 2 was just to give my, what do you call it, my solutions to what's happening especially in the sports world. And as I told you, most sports people do not reveal their sexual orientation, because the issue of sexual orientation is very tricky, because it involves whom you have sex with and who you are sexually. Now, whom you have sex with is a very private matter, but it can be public. There's freedom. You can express, you can tell people that, hey, I'm gay. It's not a crime to say that. Or I like sleeping with women when you're a woman. It's not a crime to say whom you have sex with. It's just that people value privacy. And so many human beings will never tell you whom they have sex with, because they value that. They value that, keeping it private. And so that's why you find very many people are closeted, and it's understandable. But I always tell closeted people, don't attack people who are out. Let them be out. There's a reason why they are out. Yes, there is a reason. Like for me, I'm out for a reason. I value transparency, because it makes things very easy. Honesty is the best policy. When you tell someone, this is what I want, I mean, you will get it. It's as easy as that. So that's why I'm out, and I don't fear talking about my sexual orientation, and it's because of my nature. I like talking. I like discussing about life. I don't feel ashamed about sex. Yes, other people do. That's why they're closeted. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear you praising them. Yes, that's what you need to understand. But other people are out. They're outlandish. They come out and say, yes, this is who am I. And even last time I had sex like this, and I did this, and we jumped up in the air and we went. Yes, people are free to be who you are. Don't put people in boxes. So now what's going to happen in the sports world, as I said in part 1, there's going to become very many changes. People are going to run, there will be sports journals, sports classes, highly forever for trans women. Yes, I am supporting, like the IAAF needs to create a wing that caters for the sexually diverse persons or sexually special persons, so that now trans women will compete against each other. That's one way of reducing transphobia and homophobia. Not homophobia, transphobia. Because as I told you, in the men's race, there are different types of men. There are gay men, there are bisexual men, there are straight men. Roughly, those are the three types of men. Yes, because that's about whom you have sex with. Now, when there's a men's race, do you know there are gay men who have been in those races? Do you know there are bisexual men in those races? And of course, whenever you see those men, do you even think about whom they have sex with? You don't. See, that's the trick of men's races. Same to female races. You see Martina? Martina is a lesbian. When you watch her play tennis, do you even think about whom she's having sex with? You don't. You are looking at her game, whether she's a good tennis player. Then after that, you now even switch and say, but is Martina married? Then, yeah, she's married to a woman. Or, no, she's not married to a woman. Or she's not married at all. So, when someone tells you, if they tell you that Martina is single, you'll scratch your head. Being single is not a sexual orientation. Yes, being single is not a sexual orientation. It is a status. It's a marital status. You're either married or single or divorced. Yes. So these people who think that single people is a sexual orientation, they are mad. No, it's not. It's a marital status. It's whether you're staying with somebody. So just because you're single doesn't mean you are straight or gay or bi. It just means you're single. You don't stay with people. Yes, it's okay. And just because you're married doesn't mean you're married to the opposite sex. You can even be married to the same sex. You see, it's beautiful, lovely world you're living in. So when you see the men's race, it's a mixture of men, but they don't tell you, because can you tell a gay macho man? You can't. Can you tell a man whether he's bi or gay or straight? You can't. So when those races are happening, they just happen. Same to women. Can you tell whether a woman is a lesbian, bi, or straight? You can't. It only happens when you mention it, and it's even proven that you are like that. Like Lady Gaga is a bisexual. She has declared it. She has said, I'm bi, I'm queer. Yes. So that one she has revealed herself, whom she has sex with. She has sex with women and men. Or she can have sex with women and men. It's not that she's having sex with them. Yes. That's why I support people who say who they are. If you say you're gay, even if you've not had sex, it's okay. You are. Yes. Because I can't come and prove whether you're lying or saying the truth. It is you. It is your declaration. And I always tell people, you can't declare something that people don't like. Yes. Yeah, people don't like declaring about being gay because they know people will hate them. And I tell them, no, why should you be hated? This is why I'm a supporter of the LGBT movement. Out. We should be out. Yes, people need to understand it's happening. People don't want to know that men are having sex with men. They are having, and it's okay. That's the game. That's why there's war like this. Yes, people don't want to know it's happening. Yes. So anyway, so now my suggestion for the Olympics and other sporting teams is they can create genders for the transgender athletes. And that's one point. The second point is the reconciliation of the internal sexuality and external sexuality. Make people reconcile the internal sexual infrastructure with the external sexual infrastructure. That's what I support. And that's what's already happening in the IAAF. They are saying a woman is a person who has the same hormonal levels with a woman. Then they can reconcile that definition with the one of Martina. Though Martina's is a bit wrong, Martina is saying that you must have an external organ of the sex you're running in. And I don't support that for one reason. It is the hormonal level that determines your sexuality. Yes, forget about what we used to do, that the sexual external organs define who you are. It's not your external organs. Biologically, it is the hormonal levels that determine who you are sexually. Because you can have a penis, very big one, and you're so woman. Yes, you are so female. Your hormones are, even some women are more manly than you, and you have a big penis. So are they going to stop you from running? No, you should run. I'm telling you, that man, or whatever you want to call, whether a trans woman, or let's call him a man because he hasn't said he's a woman. That man who has the same hormonal level as a woman will even beat him. Yes, in the race. Semenya will beat that man. It's true. It's because Semenya's hormonal level is more manly than his. It's beautiful. It's lovely. And this is where the world is going. We are going to sexual singularity. I know women groups are crying, oh, we want to be part of the power structure. No. It is something is happening in the world. Women are going to run against men. Look at Arizona, the bisexual woman who is, I think, the senator. Wasn't she competing against men? Yes. What happened? She got in. It is possible. Hillary Clinton was the senator of New York. She's a woman. Who were her contenders? They were men. Ellen Sirleaf of Liberia, she ran against men. And she won. She won. So what does that mean? In essence, sexuality is really not an issue. And we're going to discuss this in another video we have acquired. Very nice one from Dave Rubin, the Rubin Report. I love that show because it's very intellectual, and we're going to discuss a lot of things from there in the next video. And that's what you need to understand about sexuality. It's not that we are denying our sexualities. It's that we are saying when it comes to running for power, it's an equal playing field. People should run. Yes. Whether you're a man or a woman. And if a woman wins, well and good. But the problem we're having in Africa, the African problem is the cultural setup is so patriarchal, thanks to even religion, that has made it very patriarchal, and it has made women to be subjugated, and they can't access power. And demographically, women are becoming more than men. So because of that, the power structure is not reflecting the grassroots structure. The grassroots are full of women, but the power structure is full of men. So when you notice that imbalance, you are allowed to balance the system. And that's why we have laws. You know, we are animals and we can live without laws. It's very easy. People are joking. Laws in Israel did not start with Adam and Eve. They had no law. Only one rule. It was not even called a law. It was just a rule. Don't do this. And they did it. After that, there was no law. God did not now say, because you guys are so bad, I'm giving you laws. He should have given them at that time. But he didn't give them. So which means humans have lived lawlessly. And a human can live without laws. Yes, you can live without laws. It is just that because we are now in organized societies, we live under laws. And now when the laws, the human laws, okay, I was losing my train of thought, blah, 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 blah. I was talking about how we are living in laws and all of these things, the lawlessness and everything. I've lost the train of thought. So I was just trying to show you how, as human beings, we just use laws to organize ourselves. And to cure the imbalance, the gender imbalances in society, we use laws. So laws are an artificial construct. They are not natural. And not only are they laws, there are natural laws and unnatural laws. So the artificial system we have of laws is unnatural. What do I mean by unnatural? It is artificial. We have to make laws to organize ourselves. You see, you can have a house and you put anything everywhere, and it's okay. But the moment you decide to organize the house, that is what you call organization. It's not a must. You can live in a house that is messed up. It's okay. Yes, it's not bad. But you can also organize a messed up house that is artificial. That is an artificial action. So there's gender. You know, people are joking. In the South America country, a country in South America, there was a whole female kingdom. Yes, it was a female kingdom. When the Spanish conquistadores went there, they found a woman, the queen, and her army was full of women. So what does that mean? It means, was there a law? There was no law. They never had a law that women will be in the army. No, 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 no. It was just natural. It was just a kingdom of women. So they fought them, of course, irrespective of the Spanish conquistadores. They fought them. But the point was, you don't need a law to deal with gender imbalance. Or you can have gender imbalance even with a law or without a law. But one of the ways to cure gender imbalances is through laws. So that's what is happening in Africa, like Rwanda. Rwanda had to cure the gender imbalance, of which in Rwanda, for a very weird reason, they even have more women. Naturally, they have more women than men. Naturally. And then artificially, because of the genocide, very many men died. So that led to the population having very many women than men, more women than men. So they had to do what? They had to put women in power, not only because they were being subjugated, which they were not. It's because there are so many women who can take up leadership roles because there are more women than men. Even go and look at the Gashasha courts. Do you know how many men are in prison? There are more men who are in prison for the genocide than women. So this took a very big chunk of male leadership because majority of them were taken to prison. So now other countries, they have a 50% women or men. When you have a 50% women to men, you will have that problem of trying to solve gender imbalance. Yes, it's very cultural. And even this one of Martina, it's also cultural. So the cultures of the world are changing, and they're the hardest to change. Because the moment you change a culture, it becomes something else. That's what you need to understand. It becomes something else. Christianity is a culture. And you see, it is really fighting science because they know the moment they accept science, that's the end of Christianity. It has become something else. And it's a fact. Even if you, whether you fight science or not, Christianity is still changing. It is not the same Christianity that Jesus even started, if he even started it. Jesus didn't start Christianity. Yes. He never did he use the word Christian at all. So, same to Islam. Muhammad, the Islam of Muhammad practice is not similar to the Islam of today. Yes, it's not. Do you know Muhammad can wake up now and tell the imams, you have made a big mistake to show your faces on YouTube? Yes, because people are going to worship the imam. How many Islamic extremists worship Osama bin Laden against the Quran? And it's because they saw his face. Do you see how many people go to these extremist houses? They have pictures of Osama bin Laden in contravention of Muhammad. It's because technology has come. Now you can get portraits of whomever you love. You see, Saddam Hussein had his portrait in Iraq against the contravention. Those are images. So Islam of today is not Islam of yesterday. Christianity of today is not Christianity of yesterday, whether you fight science or not. Yes. Like now we have gay pastors. It wasn't there. And they're going on. And they'll go on 200 years, they'll still be there. Then next time we're going to get robot pastors. You're joking. Robotic pastors are coming. AI has done that. So we are very excited. So back to sports. So what these sports bodies can do, as now I was talking about definition, they can now reconcile internal and external sexuality and define a woman using both internal and external sexuality. So that a woman who has a penis can run with a woman with a vagina, because hormonally, that man with a penis or woman with a penis is a woman. Yes. So that one can run. And a man with a... That's why I said Semenya. I want to see Semenya running with the men. I have a feeling she will beat some of them. Yes. That's what they can do. And now how will they do that? Don't call the race Semenya will run with the men a women's men race. Call it a mixed race. So this is a mixed race whereby hormonal classification is used so that if Semenya has too much testosterone, she can still run with women because she has a vagina, but there is a race called mixed race or special race whereby they have now known the hormonal levels of some athletes and they want to see in this hormonal level who is the best runner. Yes. So you can put Semenya, you put the Kenyan runners, you put this Somali man, they run with Semenya, and they run with another, there's also another Kenyan woman and Burundian, they look like Semenya, and we're going to do that video and show you their picture properly. And yes, they are also very manly, and they have won. Put them together, you'll be shocked. Those women will beat those men, because they also have tenacity. And this is going to teach the world. You see, everything we are always learning and we're always being taught, whether you like it or not, anything you look at is data. And all you need to do is receive the data. You can even choose to close your eyes or not receive the data. You see, like what I'm wearing? Do you know I do not know exactly the percentage of the material here? Yes, but I can go and find out. You see, everything. I still do not know the number of hairs I have here. See, everything is a classroom, everything is data. So you have to understand that's what. So that's my solution to the sports debacle concerning sexuality. Create genders. Let's finish this way in summary. Number one, create field. For example, you can have an all. If you really want lesbians to come out, they don't have to come out. But if you really want them to come out, you can have a lesbian race, you can have a gay race. But as I've told you, that one is not an issue. Being lesbian, gay, and bisexual is not an issue. And straight, it's not an issue because that is whom you have. Those identities are based on whom you have sex with. They are not based on who you are sexually. Then, so we don't need a lesbian race. What we could have is a mixed sex race. Yes, we can have a new genre, mixed sex race, whereby whether you're a man or a woman, you will run because of your record in that race. You are a very good runner in that race, we are putting you there, whether you're a man or a woman. So now we will see that. Even football, they can have a mixed league, whereby you have teams mixed men and women, they are playing together against another team, men and women. Yes. And yes, that's where we're going. Hey guys, the world is becoming very exciting. You are joking. Wait and see the mixed league. It will be the one people will watch. Yes, it's okay. And let everybody watch what they want. If you want to stay in the homosexual league, yes, the current leagues in sports, all of them are homosexual. Yes. Yes, they are all homosexual. What I mean by homosexual, it is one sex playing against the same sex. Yes, men are playing against men. Women are playing against women, which is very okay. But I'm encouraging the sports world, let's create a mixed league, for entertainment. I know it will be very funny, but it can happen. I mean, we have companies with men and women only companies, and men only companies. It's okay. That's what we are saying. Mixed or homosexual or homogeneous, it is okay. What mixed means is heterogeneous. That's all. That's all. So that's my solution. Then the second solution, have definitions that reconcile internal sexual infrastructure and external sexual infrastructure. Have definitions like that. And then thirdly and lastly, the transgenders, of course I can also, okay, I think those are my best two solutions. So the first one, have a mixed category, special sex category, heterogeneous category, whereby men and women can race with each other, or transgenders can race with each other. And then secondly, define sexuality holistically, including internal sexuality and external sexuality. Because what we have discovered, we are our internal sexual infrastructure determines our sex, not our external. And even if our external is used, what we should do is do reconciliation. Like what has happened for Semenya. Semenya should still run with women because she has a vagina, even if she has high testosterone. And yes, I totally agree with that. I know it's a very big battle because people are saying she has a lot of testosterone, so she's going to win. You see, because women naturally don't have high testosterone. So that's the war we've been having with the IAAF. So they should say, then let her run with men. If the problem is that she has so much testosterone, then let her run with men. And if she wins, they give it to her that she has won. You see, so that's where we are right now. It's beautiful. The chaos is lovely. Have you ever seen a chaotic painting? It's beautiful. Yes. It's beautiful. It's even hilarious. You see, these days I laugh more in my videos because life is so funny. It's just madness. It's craziness. Contrary to what you want, a Mary Poppins life, everything is working. It's not like that. Things are so crazy. Things are so chaotic. Everyone is arguing. Martina is there. Then homophobes are rejoicing. Yes, now she has said it. And then you just find, I mean, the world is so, these days I think I've cured my depression because of understanding life, trying to understand life. Yes, it's very funny, it's so chaotic. So, but because of that, as human beings, we have the power to organize the chaos. And that's what we are doing right now. And I've given my situation, I've given my statement. Because sexuality has been redefined thanks to the LGBTQ movement. And that redefinition has changed everything. Women can even be past presidents. Yes. Hillary Clinton, do you know why she won the popular vote? What does that tell you? The American population has forgotten about sexuality. Yes, they are not bothered about a woman being a president. She won the popular vote. Do you know in some countries she's the president? Yes. Hillary Clinton is the president of America. In some countries. Because she won the popular vote. Trump won the electoral college vote. Not all countries have electoral colleges. So if they went and if you take the election result to a country that has no electoral college, Hillary Clinton is the president. That's why America is politically messed up right now. It's because they don't know who is the president. Yes. In fact, the 2016 election needed to have gone to the Supreme Court and to deal and question which college or which part of the election wins. But of course, it couldn't go to the courtroom for one reason. The electoral college is the one that carries the day forever. That is the law of America. So, too bad. Hillary Clinton is not the president. It is Trump, because in America, the electoral college carries the day in the case whereby even if the popular vote has exceeded even though you win the popular vote, you need to win the electoral college vote to become president. So that's what happened. Trump did not win the popular vote, but he won the electoral college vote. So he's the president. So please don't get me saying, I don't want to make any statement sounding like I'm against what's in America. No. I'm just trying to show you, if the election result was carried to a country that has no electoral college, Hillary Clinton is going to be called president. As simple as that. Now, but because because the American system has an electoral college, she is not the president. So we have to clear that. These days now we're becoming more scientific. So let us be scientific. She's not the president because the electoral college, she didn't win the electoral college vote. But what I'm just trying to show you is that a woman can win and become president. Yes. There's nothing wrong with that. Yes, there's nothing wrong with that. And that's why I'm happy with America. You see, the population didn't care whether it's a woman. They just said, yeah, Obama has said Hillary should be president. So, okay, we'll vote for her. Yes, we don't have a problem. Because if the popular vote went to Trump, then it's a sign that the American population is still very conservative. But it's not. It's liberal. It's a mix. It's a very mixed society. So that's why Hillary Clinton won the popular vote. Yes. And that's why there are issues there. But if it was Trump winning the popular vote and the electoral college vote, then you could say Americans are very conservative. And look, Obama won. Do you know Obama would not have won? That's what people are discussing about racism. Sometimes we think it's too conflated, it's too blown up in proportion. But I understand why racism is still an issue. It's because the system is so big. So if you have a black American president, it creates a facade that racism has been dealt with. And that's what people should not fall into that trap. You see, what I like about Obama's presidency, he really addressed that issue administratively and politically by diversifying the system. Obama put a black attorney general and then even put a female later on, black woman. You see, that was a guy who was addressing the issues. What he was trying to tell the system, that black people can also merit high jobs like that. Yes, that's what you need to know. So he did very well. He diversified the system. He hired transgenders, he hired gays, he hired bisexuals, he hired lesbians, he hired Latino Americans. Sotomayor, she became a justice. She's a Latino American. So this is what Trump was. We hoped Trump stayed in that mold, but because it's very nationalistic, nationalistic people tend to be very exclusive. So that's why he's not thinking of putting. He has maybe tried putting women. That's the best he has tried to do. But sadly, on the racial part, he has not really played racial diversity very well. Because if he wants to show himself that he is concerned about the racial division in America, put black people. Yes, put them. They have the same academic qualifications as their white counterparts. So to show the America that we have to solve the problem of racism, put black people in those offices. Give them. Don't only give Ben Carson and say you solved the problem. You're not solved. It's so systemic. The system is big. You see, the system is so big. America is a big machine. Now when you just put Ben Carson there, a drop. It's hilarious. I mean, who can't see that this thing is not diverse? Anyway, I can talk about America forever. It's a very interesting country. But basically, what I want us to know from these videos is that sexual diversity has changed the world, and we have to accept that reality. Alright guys, thank you so much for joining us, and I can't wait when sports is going to have transgenders, trans women winning. Yes, I'm happy with IAAF. They know what a woman is defined. They define her through hormones. That's okay. But they should now reconcile that with external, and so that you don't have to, if you have a vagina, you can still run in a women's race. That's the war. I'm really trying to stress that, because that's the battle we are having in the sports world, is that those who support inner sexuality or internal sexuality and those who support external sexuality. South Africa is on the side of external sexuality because they believe she is a woman, she has a vagina. Even if she has a lot of testosterone, too bad, she has a vagina, so she should run. And then the IAAF and other bodies are on the hormonal side. They have taken science, they are holding on to science. And the science is that this woman is a man. Yes, she's a man because her testosterone levels are too high. And so because she's a man, she should not run with women, she should run with men. So that is the war. And politically, the old political system stands with external sexuality. The new political system stands with internal sexuality. That's why New York now has a third sex in their identity card, because they now have the ability to know who you are sexually internally. And they find out that you are actually a transgender, you are actually an intersex. And intersex persons are, in fact, what should happen is the intersexualization of gender, so that the internal sexual infrastructure is reconciled with the external sexual infrastructure. So what do I mean by this? When you have a women's race, Semenya can run because externally she's a woman. But also a trans woman or a man who is hormonally a woman can also run, because he has the same hormonal levels as a woman. So that's what I'm saying is reconciliation. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you